Hello, I'm Delusion Dispeller, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how the narcissist views an older child. We talked about how the narcissist sees newborns and toddlers, but with older children, it's a little bit different because, as you know, a baby really can't tell what's going on and understand the family dynamics in the family. Most babies, they really don't understand when the behaviors of people around them seem odd or things like that. So they kind of go along with things. And as we said earlier in the tape before this, the baby is very moldable and will just do whatever mom and dad say. And that's why a lot of molestations happen to young toddlers and babies, because they're an easy target and they don't understand, they can't process what's happening to them. And they also don't know to tell anybody about it. Okay, but as that toddler grows older into a child, he or she is going to start questioning and making judgments about what he sees and experiences. Around 2, 3 years old, that's when the child starts asking why. Why are you doing this? Why is this happening to me? Was I a bad boy? Was I a bad girl? Even simple questions like, why is the sky blue? Why does a cow say moo and a horse doesn't? Why did the kitty have babies? Where did they come from? Just whatever, little questions that normal children will ask. Well, when the child starts questioning why is around that time when that child is noticing the patterns that are going on around him in the behaviors of people he lives with. As he matures, that child is probably going to start questioning some of the abuse that's going on with the narcissist. If the narcissist was a molester, that child might start saying, Daddy, why do you have to do this to me? Why do I have to do this to you? Or, Mommy, why do you touch me there? Why are you doing this? Or why are you hitting me? Was I a bad girl? What can I do to make you happy, Mommy? Those kind of things. And that child, as they get even older, might start feeling very resistant and resentful towards that parent for the things that parent is doing to them and has been doing, even from the age when they couldn't talk back and couldn't process things. An older youth will start noticing that some of the claims the narcissist makes are not lining up with what's really happening. The narcissistic father, for instance, might be bragging about all these trophies he won, and he might be outside of the house saying, well, I played this game and I won this award and I went to this festival, and the kid is sitting there saying, huh? I never saw any of those trophies. What'd you do? Hide them, Dad? He might start questioning. Or the mom is likely to say, well, I won Miss Beauty of Texas pageant, award or crown or whatever. And the little girl or little boy might say, Mom, I've never seen your crown. Can you show it to me when we get home? They'll start questioning and wondering why they've never seen any of these things their parents are boasting about to everybody else. So they'll notice that the claims do not line up with the quote-unquote fruit of what they're seeing around them. And they'll start asking questions. Why did you tell us that you did such and such, but I don't see any evidence of it, Why did you say you went to this place, but you've never shown me anything from there? Those kind of things. A baby can't do that, but a child can and possibly will. This causes the narcissist to start going back into the first phase in which he saw the child as a threat. This means that immediately, in order to devalue the child, the narcissist will begin trying to silence the child. He will shun and ignore the child. He may reject them in some way. He will show a lack of interest in what interests the child. When he's approached about this, possibly a husband might be approached by a wife who says, you used to go to his ball games, you never missed one. Why all of a sudden are you never there? And the narcissist might save face by saying, oh, I'm just much too busy these days. There's too much going on at the office. Or if it's a woman, the woman might say something like, oh, well, I just don't think it matters that much. She's getting older now. She understands. There's all kinds of things that they might say and reply with. The point is, the narcissist starts wanting to get away from this human being who all of a sudden seems so unuseful to him and seems like somebody that's going to ruin his good name or his reputation. by calling him to account on these lack of consistencies and congruencies in what he's saying versus what's really happening. Now, the narcissist will start resenting taking care of that child and supporting that child, and will start feeling trapped into having to endure even being with that child or anything involving him. He believes that it's a conspiracy against him, that he's being trapped into a relationship that he just really does not want at this point. He may start using passive-aggressive behaviors and become extremely critical of the child. He might, make promises he doesn't keep. He might say he's going to do something and then not do it. He might do things very lackadaisically for the child, like the child asks him to fix a bike tire and he barely fixes it so that when the child gets on the bike, he falls off and gets hurt. Subtle little passive-aggressive covert abuses of the child as he begins to resent him more and more for calling to question what he's seeing. The narcissist will start acting paranoid, and he'll try to cover his behaviors, claiming that he's just doing what's best for the child or for the child's own good to protect him in the future. I'm just trying to toughen him up by beating him with a strap or whatever it might be. The most common narcissistic statement that I've ever heard, me personally, is, I'm teaching him how to be strong because it's a cruel world out there. So this justifies the abuses that the narcissist is doing to the child in the narcissist's mind, which really actually does not justify any type of abuse. The narcissist will claim that other people do not understand him when they question how he treats his child. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't understand me. Nobody understands me. I have a whole different way of raising kids. Whatever it might be. In my case, the narcissist I dealt with that was a parent basically told me that the reason why she ignored her daughter's cries and did not respond to her was because if she would have responded to her immediately by hugging her and comforting her, her daughter would never get out what she was trying to say to her. So she just let her go on and on and on and be extremely upset, and never once in the middle of when the child was crying did she comfort her or say, oh, that's sad. Nothing. She just sat there like a stone statue and just let the girl go on being miserable and feeling rejected. And I just don't get treating a kid like that. I don't understand any justification of that type of thing. A narcissist will eventually watch his family crumble around him, which actually is what his intent was from the beginning, or her intent. But then they take that as, how could they do this to me? How could my family fall apart? They're abandoning me. How could they leave somebody so wonderful like me? I was the best this and the best that. It's always about the aggrandizing of himself or herself. So let's recap before I conclude this video. First of all, when a baby's born to a narcissist, envy sets in to begin with. The narcissist thinks the baby is going to steal his end supply, his narcissistic supply source. But then the narcissist starts noticing that by them drawing closer to the baby, people are drawing closer to him because he's with the baby or she's with the baby. So then they'll start putting on this air that they're the ideal and perfect parent, because this brings them narcissistic supply of admiration and compliments. Eventually that baby becomes a child, decides not to keep up the narcissistic facade, so the narcissist begins viewing him as a threat again, and starts the devaluing process until the family falls apart. Now, one thing I didn't say is in the devaluing process there is usually a replacement thing going on. So this is where you see one child being scapegoated and the other child becoming the golden child. If there's only one child, it might be just an utter rejection of that one child. But most of the families I know where there's extreme narcissism, there's more than one child, and you have your scapegoat and you have your golden child. And the golden child is often taught to mistreat the scapegoat as well. So in the end, what it boils down to is the narcissist is going to turn it all around and say that everybody did something against them. If only he was a better child, I wouldn't have had to beat him. If only she would have done her homework, I wouldn't have had to do whatever they did, kill their cat or whatever. It's evil. Narcissism is just evil, and it's a sick, sick dysfunction that ruins so many people's lives and so many families And believe me, I deal with the aftermath of it with many people that I talk to that have been in narcissistic families and situations. I also was raised by somebody that had personality disorders, so I know what it can turn out like. Anyway, so that's a recap and some information about the narcissist and how he views or she views a child. As always, if you are in a dangerous, toxic situation and you're keeping family secrets or secrets with the relationship, please find a safe person, tell them what's going on. Do not stay in the abuse. You don't have to. It's not good for you. It's not good for the narcissist. You need to leave as soon as it's safe to do so. Please do that. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. If you need help or you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Please just look me up at delusiondispeller@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day and be safe. Bye for now.